Go ahead and drape all 6 of your ropes across your ring so they're even on both sides. Now we will secure these ropes onto our ring using a gathering knot. So take that other piece of rope and fold it in half so you have a long string, a short little tail that hangs above, and a loop that goes below. We're just going to sit that right on top of all of our ropes, and then we're going to take that long piece of rope and start wrapping it around everything. And as you wrap, you want to make sure that piece of tail sticks up. Once you have wrapped it around a few times, you're going to stick that long piece of rope that we were just using through the loop. Then we're going to take that short tail and give it a nice gentle tug to pull the knot through the gathering section. Once you pull it through, you're going to take both ends, give them a nice firm pull to tighten up the knot and make sure it is locked into place. Now we're going to take all of these remaining strings and just tug on each of them to smooth out the knot and make sure they're pulled into place. Once everything is smoothed down, you can take your 2 ends once again and just pull them one more time just to make sure it's tight and secure. Now we're going to take a pair of scissors and trim off those 2 ends that we used to tie the gathering knot. After you cut them off, you might have little pieces that still stick out. So what we're going to do is just poke them back through the gathered section using a tapestry needle. Just like that. Now it is hidden. Okay, so for our next step, we are going to be working in 3 sections of 4. So go ahead and find your first 4 cords, and we're going to tie 1 normal square knot. So to make a square knot, I'm going to take the cord here on the far right and cross it over the 2 cords in the middle to form a loop. I'm going to take the string here on the left to go over the right cord. I'm going to send it behind the 2 ropes in the middle and up through the loop. And then I just pull that nice and tight. Now to finish my square knot, I'm going to take the side here on the left to cross over the 2 cords in the middle to form my loop. The rope on the right then goes over the left, behind the 2 in the middle, and up through the loop. And I just pull that through, and then I pull it tight. And that is my first square knot. Now I will be tying a switch square knot. So what this means is I'm going to take the 2 outer cords and just switch places with the 2 in the middle by taking them over those cords. Now I'm going to tie another normal square knot around the 2 new cords in the middle. So once again, I'm going to take the cord here on the far right and cross it over those 2 cords in the middle to form a loop. My rope on the left goes over the right, behind the 2 in the middle, and up through the loop. As I pull it tight, I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap here between the last square knot, about 2 finger widths apart. Now to finish my square knot, I'm going to take the side on the left to cross over the 2 ropes in the middle to form a loop. The side on the right goes over the left cord, behind the 2 in the middle, and up through the loop. And I just pull it through, and then I pull it tight. And that is what it will look like once it is finished. And now we're just going to repeat these same steps over and over again, making these switch knots. So the 2 outer cords are going to go over and the ones in the middle and switch places. Then we just tie a normal square knot. Leave the same amount of space you left up here, so about 2 finger widths once again. Keep repeating this process all the way down your first section. Okay, so once you have tied 10 square knots, we're going to move on and do our next section of 4. So I'm just going to rotate my ring around and take 4 more cords. And I'm just repeating the same process. So again, I start with just a normal square knot. Now I'm going to start making switch knots. We're going to follow the same process we did before, leaving the same amount of space between our square knots. You can use your previous section as a little bit of a guide, or you can just use your fingers once again to space it out. Continue tying your switch knots until you have 10 total square knots on both this section and your last section of 4. When you're finished, you should have 3 sections. Okay, so this is what it will look like once you have all 3 sections finished. Okay, so all 3 sections should be even in length with the same number of those switch knots. And it's just the exact same pattern on each section. Okay, so once you have all 3 of those sections finished, we're going to connect them together. So what I want you to do is take 2 cords from one square knot section and 2 cords from the square knot section adjacent to it. Okay? And with these 4 cords, we're going to move down 4 inches. Then at this 4-inch placement, we're going to tie 1 square knot. Just like that, and make sure your ropes that are a part of this square knot aren't crossed, okay? You want them to lay straight down. So once you have that square knot complete, we're going to tie switch knots again, okay? So just switch those outer cords with the inner cords and tie another square knot. And this time when we do this square knot, we're going to pull it all the way up towards the previous one, okay? So you do not want the big gap in these switch knots. Okay, so you'll still get that fun little switch effect, but we're not gonna have the big gap this time. We're gonna repeat this 3 more times for a total of 5. like that. Now we're going to rotate our project around and take 2 cords from one section and 2 cords from the section next to it. Okay, move down again 4 inches so it matches with this last section we made. And again, make sure none of your ropes are crossed over each other as you tie that first square knot. Then switch the cords around to tie another switch square knot. We're making 5 in a row. Okay, so this is all 3 sections complete. Okay, and so now we're just going to close out the bottom of our plant hanger by tying another gathering knot right below those square knots. So once again, just bring in that extra cord, place it below the square knots, and then we're just going to tie our gathering knot like we did at the start of the project. Once that gathering knot is formed, once again, just pull each cord gently to pull and smooth out the plant hanger section that hangs down. Just pull on them very, very gently. Okay, that gathering knot should be right up against those square knots. And your last step is just take your scissors and trim the ends here to the desired length. And I'm just going to take my pot and sit it into the plant hanger so you can see what it looks like with a pot inside. Just like that. And of course, I will leave the measurements of the pots shown for this example in the description down below. I want to let you all know that I recently released my brand new macrame guides. There's a lot of great information inside these guides, so please check out the link in the description to learn more. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and inspiring, and thank you so much for watching.